Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Lifeboat. I am Captain Tommy Scoville, and we're going live. People, it is back to the old grind. Starting tomorrow morning, I'm going to be there bright and early for a 7 o'clock in the morning, 12-hour shift. So, we're going to be going back to videos as usual, and you all seem to take to that today since we had the opportunity. Today I posted normal videos like I normally do when I am not at home dealing with the C plus math. And we're going to be going back to that tomorrow on a more full-time basis. However, every once in a while we might be able to squeeze one of these in. I do know that everybody sort of has taken to the live feeds. Probably nobody more than me. I really enjoy doing this. It's an awful lot of fun working with everybody, getting a chance to, to see everybody here. We've got Virginia Doolan. We have the seventh son. Heating Up is here. Hey, it's good to see you. We've got Deja Moore. I have a 5x5, which is nice. Joe. Good to see you, Joe. Really appreciate you making it. It's awesome that you're here. Let me get this set up, people, so that I can somewhat read the comments. Jerry Armitage. Jerry, we are so glad that you're here, man. We're glad that everything worked out. A special shout out to the person that would like to remain anonymous that helped Jerry out. That was a beautiful thing. And the fact that the person would like to remain anonymous, we've got to respect that. But my hat's off to whoever that was. That's really beautiful stuff. It really is. Deja Moores. Deja, good to see you. We're glad you're here. People, today, and I'd like to let a couple more people trickle in before I do this, but you know what? I'll just do it more than once over the course of this live feed because really, I don't know that I can say this one enough. People, the goodbye letter that I've asked people to write to their drug of choice. It's a beautiful thing and it touches people deeply. It's not why I asked you to do it. It really isn't. It is a beautiful side effect. That letter is really for the person writing it. It does absolute wonders for you when you take the time to actually say goodbye. Whether you believe it or not, it is a huge thing. And Mr. Andrew Eats can attest to that. Just how much it touches you emotionally when you take the time to officially kick that substance, that habit out of your life. It's a huge thing. It really is. Verte, really appreciate you coming in. Always nice to see you. People, this participation trophy today goes to Mr. Andrew Eats. And you know what? I've never felt happier giving one of these out to anyone than I do right now. Andrew, you're a beast. That was your goodbye letter. First of all, what it did to me is just staggering. It really, people, when you build a YouTube channel and you really take it seriously and it becomes the focus of your life, you put a lot of time and a lot of effort into building one of these channels. And there are a bunch of people in the comment section right now that have taken the time over the course of the last couple of years to build a channel themselves. For all of you, you know what I'm talking about. This is really it's a tremendous amount of work, and if you read the statistics, nobody makes a living, building a YouTube channel. It really is not a particularly intelligent way to try to get rich. In fact, it may be one of the worst ways that you can possibly try to get rich. However, if it's a labor of love, if it's something that you're doing because it touches you deeply, then it's a great thing. And that being said, for some of us, we are blessed in that the pay that we get isn't necessarily something that you get financially. People, I got paid today. The letter that Andrew wrote today has touched me so deeply I can't tell you. And it's pay that, like my partner Mark said on this one, I was talking with Mark about the letter, and he said, that's the kind of pay that nobody can take from you. You can't lose it. Nobody can steal it. Mr. Saigon Cinnamon, I'm glad that you are here. We're going to be talking about him in a moment. I just got a beautiful goodbye letter from him as well. I love that you people are taking this seriously. Not only is it going to benefit the people who hear this, Arizona Raven has changed her mind and is up a little bit later. I am so glad that you are here. Raven, even if you fall asleep, we just love the fact that you made it on here. You're great. We love you. But people, those letters are not just going to touch the lives of people on this boat right now. These are going to become a mosaic, right? All of these letters are going to wind up, obviously there will be a playlist that just highlights those letters. But just as importantly, maybe more importantly, Pepper Dojo, it's great to see you. More importantly, people, those letters are going to be something that draws people to this channel and to this boat. When we start to get these things put together, I am going to ask every one of you to share that particular part of this boat everywhere you can. I want everyone to get a look at the goodbye letters. There will be one playlist that is nothing but goodbye letters and me highlighting them and talking about the people that wrote them in. It is super important. It's going to be something that we can use to build this thing bigger, to draw in more people who we can help get the message out to. In the comment section, I just read that Joe from Heating Up, has said that he really needs our help. People, you know what? Be there for him. Be there for Joe, because I believe it. You know what I mean? Everybody here needs help. I need help. We all need help. It's not an easy thing for someone to say, I need help. Our society has placed such a stigma on anyone who ever wants to say, I need help or I need assistance. One of the beautiful things about this boat that you people have built is that a person can come here and say exactly that and never have someone look down their nose at them. In fact, quite the opposite. If someone is brave enough to come to this vessel and say, I need help, it's amazing how people will help them. Folks, along those lines, Jerry, for coming here and being honest and sharing that you needed help, Jerry, look what happened, right? Look what happened. Jerry is not going to be back in the life, people. He's going to be doing pills. We've got this taken care of, and it's going to give him 30 days to work with me so that we can try to make sure that he's set up for the rest of his time, for as long as he's going to be fighting the fight using that method. So, but this, people, this is Andrew Eats, and it's going to end up getting passed around to all of the people that take the time to write that letter and to take it seriously. You have not heard Saigon Cinnamon's letter. You will. Saigon, this is for you. People, it really is honest. If we talk about it, there is nothing on this planet more important than family. One of the reasons that this boat is becoming a phenomenon, as much as it is a channel, is because we choose our family here. We all choose to love one another, to respect one another, to look out for one another, to take care and to support, right? That's what makes somebody a family. Family members come in 2 legs, and they also come in 4 legs, right? I have been devastated in my life by the loss of animals. I have had animals that meant as much to me as people that I've known, and they really do. Joe from Heating Up can attest to this. He's been going through it. A lot of people run into problems because when we take on the responsibility of being a family member with a dog or a cat or anything that you have as a pet, we become very, very attached to those animals, and they really do become family. Right now, there is a family member, Mr. Workman, Saigon Cinnamon. His dog is already having problems in one eye, and now the other eye is in jeopardy, and this could leave the animal unable to see. And we don't want that, people. We really don't. So For those of us who pray, I'm asking that we give some prayers out for Saigon's dog. No apologies, people. That is family. For those of you who send positive energy, do that, please. And for those of you in the comments section, if you just let him know that, you know what, we feel for him, we care about him, and we're here, I think that would go a long way too. But thoughts and prayers, people, for Mr. Saigon Cinnamon's dog. Now, let's get to some serious stuff. There are things I wanted to talk about on this live feed, but they're not as important as the fact that there's somebody here on this live feed asking for help. Joe, the time has come. You know, you very much want to get sober. You're in the right place. And there is nothing on the plate here that's more important than that. I want more than anything in this world, Joe, for you to be sober. I really do. And not because it reflects well on the boat or any of that garbage, but because you're not going to live your best life if that doesn't happen. Now, you've been trying for a period of time. Pamela, good to see you. You've been trying for a period of time. You have to ask yourself, where has the weak link been, right? This is just logical. I'm not being harsh, right? I'm loving you, brother. I believe that you're ready. But you have to ask yourself, where are you stumbling? What is happening? There's a couple of things I think you got to go with right from Jump Street. Don't have $1 in your pocket. You cannot buy booze on the way home from work if you don't have any money. Get your ATM card, get your debit card, get your cash. Don't have 50 cents in the glove box. Don't have a way for you to purchase anything on the way home. That's essential, right? This is the time where just saying no is going to be difficult. You have an addiction to alcohol. So alcohol is going to do everything within its power to get you to make that first mistake, right? Which is buying that drink on the way home. So don't have the cash available. Don't have any means available to make that purchase. That is one. Two, when you get home, don't sit around. There has to be something that you do to occupy your time so that you don't sit there and focus on the fact that you're not drinking. Because the more we focus on the fact that we're not drinking, we get that voice in our head that says, why not? It's no big deal. You can quit tomorrow, right? All of the self-talk that those of us who are addicted to drugs or alcohol have to put up with when we're trying to quit. That is essential. So when you get home, obviously, you need to make that happen. And what you just did tonight, coming here. Oh, 1 second, I'll be right with you, Andrew Eats. Don't you move. Tonight, coming here and saying that you need help says an awful lot about where you're at. It says that you're ready to make that thing happen. You say you've lost your way and you felt you've done a huge disservice to this community, not to mention the things that I have done and said in the last few weeks. Tell you what, man, let's forget about all that crap. Seriously, that guilt isn't going to do you any good. And as the captain of this vessel, all of us, if there's anything that needs to be apologized for, we just forgave you. So get that out of here. That's not going to do any good. That guilt isn't going to do any good. That's done. You don't owe us an apology, bro. You need to get sober. You're working on yourself. Don't worry about this. Seriously, I promise you that right now, there are 15 heads nodding up and down, mine being the 16th. Has everybody here forgiven Joe for anything that he feels like he needs to apologize to us for? How's that, Joe? You see that? That's all these heads nodding, brother. Don't worry about it. That's over. Let's be done with that. And he says, I believe right now he's drinking. I'm seeing this go across the screen, which for those of you who have done live feeds, this is going to appear before it appears down here. But I believe he said he's under the influence. That's not a shocker, right? We know that someone who's trying to quit means that they're using, right? It should not come to a shock to anybody that he's on here today and he's under the influence. That's fine, Joe. It's not the end of the world, right? If you weren't under the influence, you would have already quit and you wouldn't be saying that you need to. So, look, you're drunk. Okay. I mean, you spent many nights drunk. That's not an issue. The issue is it's time to stop. And you say you're ready to, we're here to support you. Here's where the failure comes in, Joe. When the time comes to go and purchase that first drink, when the time comes to drive to the store, to go to the liquor store, when the time comes to make the decision to use, you need to commit that you're going to reach out to somebody here. You're going to reach out to somebody in the safe harbor that we've got over on Facebook. You're going to make a phone call. You're going to do whatever you have to do. Because I know that there's nobody on this live feed right now, or for that matter, anyone on this damn boat that will not take that call, right? All of us would be more than happy to give you our phone numbers. You can call anybody you want and say, I'm thinking of slipping. And I promise you, stay on the phone, we're not going to let that happen. And you and I have had this discussion. I'm not busting your chops, but I'm telling you that each time we've talked about this, I've said, before you do this, you need to call one of us. You need to come to the comment section. Now we've got the Facebook group, right? You've got places right now to reach out to individuals who are here to help you. And I promise you, bro, I relapsed more than you have. You haven't. You're going to have to drink for the next 20 years, quitting every day, to catch up to the number of times that I've relapsed. I'm not a guy standing on a hill that didn't do anything wrong and saying, look at me. I've relapsed more than you have. Do you hear me? So stop beating yourself up for that, because it's not going to do any good. And apologizing to all of us, appreciate it, right? That's over. It's done. Let it go. It's not going to do any good. Let's move on, right? We're here for you. Andrew Eats. Since you just came in here and you missed this, I'm going to say it again, and I told people in the beginning I would. Andrew, this is for you. Do you understand? This participation trophy today is for you. The letter that you wrote, my friend, is the first huge paycheck that I have received for starting a YouTube channel, right? I didn't start this YouTube channel to get paid in money, but I most assuredly started this YouTube channel to get paid in other ways. And today, I got a paycheck from you, brother, that is going to be with me till the end of my life. It was so funny when I got to the bottom of what you wrote and you said, man, you know what? I'm actually feeling, I'm emotional. This affected me. You're emotional. I'm reading this stuff. I got tears running down my face. I'm like, you're a little emotional. I'm dying over here. The number of people, Andrew, that have said that they cried after reading your letter. You're touching people's lives. You touched mine more than any. I promise you. If you touched somebody's life more than you touched mine, I'm astounded. I can't tell you what that letter meant to me. And it's going into my permanent file that I'm going to go to each time I feel like going, I'm not doing this today, right? Or this is just too difficult, or whatever the case may be. This is for you, man. You made my day, my week, my month, right? We're 60 days into this almost, and nothing has felt this good since I started this channel. That is from the bottom of my heart. This is for you. And the best part is, Andrew, that after your letter went up, other letters started rolling in. And I knew that when I highlighted the first one and people got an appreciation for just how much this does for other people, that was going to happen. And that is the glory behind this. People, I have a feeling that Joe is no longer in the comment section. I don't doubt for a second he's continuing to watch us. Joe, we love you. We really do. And all of that, you let us down stuff, let it go. All right? Let it go. This is not the boat that holds a grudge. This is not the boat that judges. You have done things that you feel in some way offended us. You haven't offended me. Right? I'm the captain of this year's ship. You haven't done anything that offended me. And if you have at any point, I assure you it's not enough to hold anger or a grudge or anything else. People, the things that he's feeling guilty about right now are because of things that were perceived negative by other people. You didn't hear it from me. You know, I love you, Joe. You're gonna do this. You are, and you're going to be a soldier for sobriety. You're going to be one of those people that brings in other people who look at you and say, he's sober, I want to do that. I want to have what he has. I promise you that's going to happen. And it's going to be such a blessing to so many people. So that's what you need to concentrate on. Forget your past. You want to talk about pasts? Good Lord, the past that we could talk about, right? Joe, did you ever rob a bank? Right? You talk about some things that need to be forgiven. Did you ever rob a couple of them? Did you ever steal from your friends? How about family? Did you ever steal from your family? Did you ever lie to your family? You haven't cheated on your wife, have you? All right, I've done all of those things. But they're in my past. I designed a new human. I designed a new person. And I'm so happy with who that new person is. I'm not perfect. boy, oh boy, am I not perfect. You know, I'm still a pretty good sized screw up. However, every single day when I get up and I make my bed, and I start my day, I dedicate myself again to trying to be the guy on page 3, right? In the notebook, page 2 was who I was. Page 3 was who I wanted to be. Page 1 was my why. I wrote down all of the reasons that this just had to stop, right? But every single morning I rededicate myself to being the guy on page 3. I'm a failure at hitting everything I want on page 3. What I'm not a failure at is continuing to try. We have the grizzly cub in here. Another person who has just been absolutely an inspiration. You're going to hear her story, and I'm hoping she's also going to write a goodbye letter. If you haven't seen the one from Andrew, it has just been absolutely, my goodness. And maybe a quick prayer. I just heard that one of the members of the boat actually has a swarm of bees in someone's bedroom at their house. So Fiona, we're going to throw out some prayers to Fee, because that's awful. Please be careful. Bees are awful. But Grizzly Heat's daughter is just a walking, breathing testament to how fantastic life can be when you get sober. And you'll hear her story. If you haven't heard Andrew's goodbye letter, people, man, when this live feed is over, get the last video that I did. It is me reading Andrew's goodbye letter. This participation trophy today is for Andrew, for one of the most amazing things you're ever going to read, people. It will touch you. I guarantee it. It's going to touch you in your soul, in your heart, in places that you probably have never felt anything quite like that before. It certainly did for me. No, thank you, Andrew. Really. He's got to go. Of course you do. You're on the other side of the world. Andrew. You're my hero, man. You are. Keep fighting the good fight. This is for you. Keep fighting the good fight, brother. Everybody, we all know 500 ways we can reach out to our brother, right? Joe, do it. Direct message the man. Give me a phone number. Tell him to call you if he feels like he's going to drink tomorrow. Obviously, today is in the bag. There's nothing we can do about today, right? The great thing is, it's like poker, right? It doesn't really matter how bad that hand is, because you can toss it into the center, and they're going to deal you a fresh set of cards tomorrow morning. And you can get up tomorrow morning, Joe, with all your sins forgiven, right? And you're starting from scratch. The boat will be here, and we will treat you as if it's the first time you've ever done it. That's what the boat is. We don't count. There's no point in counting. You know why we don't do that, Joe? Because you couldn't count as high as the number of times that I failed, right? So we're just not doing that here. It's not what we do. We will count your successes all day long, but we're not going to keep track of your failures, and we're not going to keep track of your stumbles. The only time that it really is a failure, Joe, is if you throw in the cards and you say, that's it, I'm just going to live this life. This is the life for me. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to try. Well, I don't believe that's you. I don't think that's you. You know, you're a fighter. I've watched it. I know who you are. You're a fighter. So dust yourself off, get a good night's sleep, wake up tomorrow morning and start fighting. And there's an entire boat full of people here right now ready to pray for you, ready to give you positive energy, positive thoughts, pat you on the back, and be here if you need someone to talk to as you're struggling. That is just simply the truth. Do you understand? I promise you. Okay. So, God bless you, Joe. You're in our prayers. Everybody, I also want to do another shout out and the participation trophy, but I'm going to have to get something more permanent. In fact, the participation trophy that I'm going to be doing for my first mate, right? Mark is probably going to end up here. It's going to be one of those things that I'm going to get something so that Mark is immortalized on a permanent basis. The things that Mark is doing, people behind the scenes, I had said right from the beginning, there's stuff that I'm good at and there's stuff that I'm bad at. Not good at, bad at. The beautiful thing is, and the you call it destiny, you call it luck if it makes you feel better, or you call it the hand of God, whatever you believe. But in this mission, Mark and I got brought together, and what I'm happy doing and what I'm comfortable doing is this, right? I'm very comfortable telling people my story. I'm very comfortable dealing one-on-one and in a crowd to try to do everything I can for the purpose of moving this this boat forward. That's what I'm happy doing. I'm happy making videos. I'm happy doing live feeds. All of these different things. My man Mark is so good behind the scenes. A day is coming where that man needs to do a book, and he needs to call it Guerrilla YouTube, right? Or he joked once and said Ghetto YouTube, because of he's really done some stuff on a shoestring budget, people, that if you had $300,000 you couldn't do. He just has learned, and in the last 3 years has turned himself into a top quality YouTuber. If you haven't been over to his channel, Wages World, why not? Seriously. I mean, do you listen to the captain? If you're not there, what is going on? Rampage. I'm going to tell you something. I absolutely love Rampage. I've gone over to his page, listened to some of the things he has to say. Rampage is a great guy. I'm so happy you're here, Rampage. Flaming Jackson, my man. Great to see you. People, a couple other things that came from you all, that didn't come from me, that I am embracing and I absolutely love. If someone does something fantastic, if somebody leaves a comment that is just breathtaking, in the old days, right, way back weeks ago, we would leave a microphone. It was sort of a, hey, drop this kind of a thing, and it gives people the idea that, as far as I'm concerned, you hit it out of the park. From this point forward, what we will be doing is the anchor salute. It will be a 21 anchor salute. Yeah, people, I went and got myself an anchor. I had to go through a different set of emojis, but I have an anchor, and I now have the ability, no, thank you, Rampage. I now have the ability to leave people 21, I have the ability to give a 21 anchor salute, and I love that. I really do. It's I think it's appropriate, and we're going to be doing that going forward. So if you see the 21 anchors, you know that you have definitely got the attention of the captain. People, I want to do another shout out. You know how cool it is to have to come on here and just talk about how cool you people are? It certainly burns time, and it's fun. But there are a group of people, a lot of you, have decided that during the night you're going to watch the lifeboat basically nonstop. And last night, people, we took a leap forward in the number of hours that were watched. That was epic. I'm not going to lie to you. I watch it very closely. Pamela Swan, good. Is that Swan? Yes, Pamela Swan. So good that you were here. Really appreciate you. Peeps, the number of hours that we jumped yesterday, I won't lie. You know, I go and I check that as soon as it updates every single day. It's one of the things that I check because it's the only thing holding us back at this point, right? So when we hit the 3,000 hour mark, and I was 3/4 of the way done, I was beyond myself with happy. So I check. People, if we do 50 hours a day, I am a very happy camper, a very happy captain, I guess you would say, because we're moving toward the destination, and we're doing it fast. We took a jump yesterday that was like 140 hours, somewhere in there. So to all of you who have decided to watch this show almost around the clock, catching up on all of the videos that I've done, I can't thank you enough. I really can't. The boat can't thank you enough. This is nuts and bolts stuff. This is people stepping up to the plate and saying, I can make a difference. I can do this. I can make this happen. And I know a lot of people emailed me and said, hey, I'm doing this. Deja's doing it. I appreciate this, people. I really do. We're so far ahead of the curve. And that's awesome, because this message has got to get out to the world. I have been accused recently of concentrating far too hard on trying to build a YouTube channel when there are so many dangerous things happening in the world. For instance, the end of the world. We may be in the 11th hour of the end of the world. People, I don't want to see anyone beat on that guy. A lot of people came to my rescue and my defense. And here's the thing. You did it class. You really did. There's nobody that said anything really harsh, but I don't want anyone to. That gentleman could use some prayers. He had sent an email saying that he's self-medicating for bipolar disorder. People, listen to me. I am not a doctor, okay? Not a doctor. I'm not. I'm a recovering drug addict who's trying to help other recovering drug addicts, not a doctor. If you have bipolar disorder and you are self-medicating it, please go to a professional, go and see a doctor. If you are suffering from clinical depression and you're coming to this channel for help, people, I am not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I have very specific things I'm trying to do, and I do believe that I'm the right man for the job if you're trying to get sober. If you're coming to talk about clinical depression, or you're coming to talk about the fact that you are suffering through, hold on there, if you're suffering through some serious mental problems, if you're suffering through things that need to be treated, I'm not the guy, right? Please, your mental health is more important than anything in the world. If you need to see a psychiatrist, for the love of everything good, please do it, right? We want you to live your best life. And there are things all of us here, crew of this boat, can help you with. The goodbye letters are proving that, right? We're helping people with what it is we can help. But there are things we can't help with. And I'm not going to pretend to be a doctor, and I'm not going to give out medical advice to people in those positions. That is really important to me. More important than anything, you got to take care of yourself. So don't leave me a message that says you're self-medicating for something like bipolar disorder. What you need to do, sorry, it's getting warm in here. What you need to do instead is take care of yourself. And you do that by going and seeing a professional. See somebody that can help. Did I just see? I did. I just saw the Swiss Vapor. You don't have to stay long, my friend. It's fantastic to know that you're here, people. A shout out to our friends in Switzerland. People, this boat is all over the world, right? I was talking about this with Mark the other day. It is very easy for us here in the United States to think of drug addiction and drug problems as something that is unique to the United States. Man, it isn't. You hear me? It is not in any way, shape, or form unique to this country. There are people all over the world who are suffering with the exact same things that we are. We want to get this everywhere, people. We really do. We want to get this message out to the four corners of the world. The Filthy Phoenix says, we might just hit this before the week is out. You know what? We might hit this before the week is out. We really might. And if we don't, that's all right. Because we are moving forward. Tam, so good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. See, who else have I missed? Brett H. Brett, I'm happy you're here. I really am. Everybody, what a crew. You know something? We may end up hitting this before the Rampage says you need proper medications for bipolar. This is a condition you can't deal with on your own. And the number of people on this planet who use narcotics has a way to try to level themselves out. When they're in a stage that they used to call manic, right? When you're riding the highs and everything seems great, there are people that take drugs to bring them down, to try to create some kind of normalcy. Then you've got people who, when they start feeling low, will go the other route and take some methamphetamine or some cocaine or something to try. For the love of everything good, people, that's not the answer. Man, that's not the answer. There are drugs that can fix exactly what's going on. I'm not a guy that sits and bangs the gong from the front of the boat and talks about how everybody needs to be on medication, because I don't believe that is the case. But there are people who are going to live way better lives if they go and they see a professional and they get medicated. For real. We're going to, people, I promise you, we're going to see a lot of individuals who show up in the comment section of this boat. People who are going through some very difficult times. Swiss Vapor, he said he mostly, here in Switzerland, I'm going to get back to what I was just saying, but he said, here in Switzerland, the most abused drugs are cocaine, meth, and heroin. Meds are opioid, and you can imagine. Yeah. So again, people, they're dealing with the exact same thing in Switzerland that we're dealing with here. Whether you're in the Netherlands, whether you're in Great Britain, it doesn't matter where you are, people. Don't think for a second that this drug epidemic is unique to the United States. It's not. There are drugs everywhere, all over the world. And what does that mean, people? It means we're all in the same boat. That's what it means. We're all in the same boat. It's how this channel got its name. Was the realization that no matter what's going on, we are all in the same boat. So, people, just to reiterate one more time, we're going to see people who get onto the comment section of this boat who are going through it. There are a lot of people, because of mental illness, who choose drugs as a way to try to fix it. So we need to be caring above and beyond everything else. We need to be caring to a fault, so that if people come on here, you're going to have some people that say some outrageous things because they're suffering from mental illness and they're treating it with drugs. If we get someone on here who starts really saying some bizarre stuff, sometimes it's funny to say something funny. But if we could probably try to defer to kindness, right? If our default setting, in fact, let's put it this way. Let's make our default setting Chi-Chi, right? As everybody was coming to my rescue today and sort of lecturing this gentleman, Chi-Chi just said, even if he's here just to ridicule the captain, this is someone that needs some help and some prayers and some positive energy. So feel free to try to defend the captain, especially if I'm not there to do it. Feel free, but do it like Chi-Chi would. You know what I mean? Go in there and say, hey, it's probably not nice to beat on the captain when he's not here, but since you seem to be, dealing with some negative stuff, we're here for you and we're praying for you. Boom. Or if you're not a prayer, any way you want to put it, people, but you understand the message, right? Let's make kindness our default setting. And if you think I'm lecturing you people, I'm the biggest jerk in the world on this, right? I was ready to go and just sort of tear this guy apart until I read Chi-Chi's comment. And I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be, I really don't want to be a negative person anymore. I want my default setting to be like Chi-Chi's. And I'm going to work on it. I promise you people. Also, let's keep you up to date. Today's the 27th, okay? I believe at the beginning of this month, I made a promise to the boat. And I said that I was going to be working very diligently on trying to forgive 2 people from my past who I have held onto this hate and this anger toward these people, and basically have forgiven to refuse to forgive these people. And it's not good for me. It's not doing anything to them. These are decade-old problems, but it is eating away at me. And you know what? I'm going to rephrase that. It was eating away at me, because I promise you people, I have made staggering progress on getting these 2 things, these 2 people forgiven and out of my life. I really have. And today when I was reading Andrew's letter, and he said, he was talking about not liking, how much, the booze really sort of destroyed his life. And he said, I forgive you, to the alcohol. I don't hate anymore. I don't even hate you. Boy, people, I don't have any hair on the back of my neck, right? But if I did, it would have been standing up on end. Because here's somebody that gets it better than the guy that's supposed to be telling them about it. And that's going to be the case often. You realize that. So oftentimes there will be people in this comment section who are better at executing the things that I say than I am. I'm going to work on that. It's going to be a daily thing for me. But I promise you people, I have another 4 days of praying for these 2 people, night and day, praying that I can forgive these people, and praying that they find peace in life, and that no matter what happened with me and these individuals, that it's in the past. It's not something that I need to carry around like luggage. And I'm getting there. I really, really believe that through the grace of God and through some work and some exercises, that when the sun comes up on October the 1st, they're not going to be in my thoughts unless it's in a positive way. This is I'm learning from you people. How cool is that? I'm learning from the crew of this boat every single day. And again, probably not something that I saw coming when I put this channel together, but every single day, you people in the comment section are making my life better. And for that, I thank you. I really do. It's such a fantastic crew. It really is. Did you notice? I didn't say it. I'm sorry. No, I'm getting better. I'm learning from new people. I won't apologize when I drink. I do have to do it from time to time. Rampage says, I can testify to saying bye to alcohol and not having a problem with it in the house. So glad to be over it. So glad to be over that 2-year drunken sulk. I'll tell you something, people. There is something... negative is too much work. Thank you, Bent Genetics, right? Thank you, Bent Genetics. Negativity takes effort. It really does. And not only does it take effort, but you don't get anything out of it. You really don't. You can hate people all day long. There's no benefit to it. It's amazing what happens when you start doing the things necessary to love instead of hate. Because you know what happens? You get a positive result. It's just like what? It's just like giving a gift. And we've already gone over what that does, right? There's science to this. Cuts down on cortisol. If you're somebody trying to lose weight, do you know what cortisol does for weight? It's that pouch that you get right here, right in the front that you can't get rid of no matter how hard you're dieting. The hardest part to get rid of is right here, right? It is right here. Swiss Vapor apparently is leaving us. Hey, my friend, God bless you. Keep fighting the good fight in Switzerland and take the message of the boat to everybody there, right? We love you guys and we're in this together. We're all in the same boat, whether you're in the United States or whether you're in Switzerland, right? The enemy, people, is addiction. The enemy's not drugs, by the way. You know, like Andrew Reed says, I forgive you. There's tons of people that can use alcohol every day. There are people having a glass of wine right now, and that's not a problem for them. Why hate that substance? Who cares? Get it out of your life. You can hate being a slave to it. That's something that is absolutely legitimate. Seventh Son says, Rampage, I hope one day to be as strong as you. But I had it in the house in the form of baking extracts. I remember this story. Where you... I'm not laughing at you, by the way. I'm laughing at a funny comment. Where you ended up drinking extracts. This happens to a lot of people. It's not a unique story. I've heard it so many times where someone will grab... in fact, I don't think it was you who was telling the story the last time. But they grabbed vanilla extract and drank a bottle of it. And then went and got more. The day is coming, people, and I think it's such a great comment that someone just said. I hope someday to be as strong as you. Do you remember me saying way back in the day, if you haven't watched every video, then you probably missed this, but I did a video probably 75 videos ago or something. Who knows how long ago. But I was doing a video where we were talking about different emotions and whether an emotion in itself is either positive or negative. And I said, I don't really believe that's the case. People will say all the time that envy is a terrible emotion, right? There's nothing good about envy. I disagree. I think if envy is used as hate's little brother, then it's a problem. But I envy so many people who deal with life better than I do. I envy them. And it makes me strive to try to be a better person, a better dad, you know, a better son, a better brother, a better captain, right? There's nothing wrong with that kind of envy. So when I read a comment that says to somebody, hey, I envy you. I wish that I was able to do what you're doing. That's good stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, especially on this boat. We should all be envying the person with 25 years of sobriety because they got more of it than we do, right? And while we envy them, we should hope we never catch up. We should hope that when we get to 25 years, they're at 60 or whatever the case may be. You understand what I'm saying? There is no problem at all with envying somebody who is living a life that you wish you had. Nothing wrong with that. Now, if you envy them because they got a nicer car, you probably need to reevaluate. Really. The older I get, people, the more that I realize that I spent a lot of my life concentrating on things that were not particularly important. That's me. Doesn't mean it has to be you. And there are things that I still am so enthralled with that are expensive toys. But these days, the ones that I do make considerably more sense to me. I mean, for real, there are things that I want to own that no one is ever going to see. I'm not buying them because I want to impress somebody. There are things that I want because they're art. They really are beautiful. And I have a very warm spot in my heart for certain forms of art. And Yeah, don't get bogged down by certain emotions, and don't give them power that they don't have. You follow me? The one emotion, people, that I think we really all need to to avoid is probably hate. If we can avoid hate, if we can make our default setting kindness, then we're winning, right? We're winning. People, also, on these live feeds, the number of people who continually show up and are here every day, I can't thank you people enough. It moves the boat forward, but more importantly than that, it gives you people the opportunity to really get to know one another. I was talking to somebody that said, man, I was on one of your live feeds, and I swear to you, it almost seemed like the people in the comment section weren't talking about what you were talking about at all. It was like you weren't even there. Good. I don't have a problem with that. The people who need to hear what I'm saying are probably hearing it. But a lot of people in the comment section are just getting to know one another. We're not a normal YouTube channel, right? It isn't about you people showing up here for me to entertain you. If it was, it would be a different kind of a scenario. But it's about building a group of people to support one another in this good fight. So you all getting to know one another, and you all really connecting in a way that no other group of people on a channel do. That's the goal, right? That's what we're trying to do. So one of the reasons that I've been doing as many live feeds as I have is because of this. It's because of the comments section, which almost becomes a chat room, and that's good for this boat. Make no mistake about it. That is really, really good for this boat. And you all are lucky that I could talk for hours on end, and it's not a problem. I can continue to, I have no problem. If no one's listening, I can listen to myself. No, but the truth is, because of the things that I read, I know that there are people who are hearing, what they need to be hearing. Hot Wheels, thank you for stopping in, my friend. And he says, I absolutely agree. It's not about entertainment. And it's not about feeding someone's ego. No, it really isn't. And you know what? I'll get accused of that. You watch. And the bigger we get, people, the more the slings and arrows of the negative people and the haters. It was really funny. I remember the first time I don't remember whether it was 3 or 4 thumbs down in one video, and somebody in the comment section said, hey man, congratulations. If you weren't doing good stuff, you wouldn't have that. And honestly, it changed my entire outlook. Now when I see that, it really does it's almost a report card. If you're not doing well, you don't have to worry about people showing up and tossing stones at you. You don't. People, I am working currently again. Grizz Cub says, we are hearing you, Tommy. You know what? The Grizz Cub is awesome. We were emailing back and forth today. I don't know if it's email. I use that term for everything, people. So if you ever go, I didn't email the guy. I think it might have been a text. Anyway, you shake it. We were communicating back and forth. And I'm still working with the first mate's assistant on setting up so that we can do the dawn interviews right? They're very difficult. It's just not working. Right? It's not working here. As soon as we get that ironed out, one of the first interviews that I'm really, really excited to do is the Grizzly Cub, because Rhett's daughter is absolutely an inspiration, right? And not just because her story mirrors mine in some ways, but because it's one thing to get off the deck, people. It really is. It's one thing to be able to put drugs, alcohol, whatever your affliction was, in the rearview mirror. It is quite another thing to then take that and make something awesome out of it, and that's what she's doing. And people, I use the term rearview mirror a lot. You're going to hear me say it all the time. I think it's really important to concentrate on the fact that the rearview mirror is this big, right? The windshield, on the other hand, is massive. You with me? Today, our brother Joe was on here, and he was definitely going through it, and he wanted to apologize because he says he let this community down. You know what? Get out of the rearview mirror. Look at that big piece of glass in the front, and that goes for everybody. I'm using him as an example because we love him and because he needs our support. But Joe and anyone else listening, that big piece of glass in the front, right? That's what we want to look through. We want to look at the future. We want to concentrate on moving forward. If you concentrate on the rearview mirror and try to drive to work, you're going to crash within the first mile. You can't drive an automobile looking behind you, and you cannot drive the automobile of life if you're staring in the rearview mirror. The reason that page 3 is so important in my life is because if I dwell on page 2, I'm not getting anywhere. If I want to concentrate on the fact that I spent time in prison, if I want to concentrate on the fact that I let down my family, I let down my friends, all of those things, I'm never going to get done what I want to get done. And you all know exactly what I want to get done, right? So I don't spend a lot of time looking in the rearview mirror. Each and every day, I concentrate on this thing. I concentrate on looking forward, taking this vessel forward. Because much like a car, if I try to make this boat go while I'm looking in the rearview mirror, nothing good is going to happen either. You know, it just simply isn't. Captain Tommy is doing a very unique thing with this channel. This isn't mainstream media. No, it really is not the mainstream media. That is Mike Hawk that says, Captain Tommy is doing a very unique thing with this channel. This isn't mainstream media. This is the real deal, people. You know what, man? Mike, thank you. I don't know. I don't think you have a clue how much it means to me to hear that. Really, this is the pay I'm talking about. It's not about ego, people. It really isn't, I promise you. But it's great to hear stuff like that. There are comments that make me feel uncomfortable, right? If you talk about me being a great guy, it's kind of a bummer. But when people talk about how great this boat is, I listen to that all day long. I really will. I can listen to that all day long because it is a great boat. You know, what we're doing right now is unique. And what we're doing right now is giving the world a shot. It's given us the opportunity to do things that are important. When I was making cookies to celebrate my 1-year anniversary of being sober, I licked the extract off my fingers and then I drank a 32-ounce bottle of the extract. You know what? That's not an easy story to tell. I respect the fact that you can come here and tell that. I really do. I respect the fact that the boat has made you relaxed enough to do that, that the people around you have made you comfortable enough that you can have this discussion. It's an important story, people. It really is. Really, truthfully, it's an important story. If your drug of choice is alcohol, there's alcohol in a lot of things. And if you have gotten far enough along in your addiction, just licking the spoon that has extract on it can be enough. I mean, we're not talking about a trigger anymore, people. We're talking about alcohol entering your mouth. That's way more than a trigger. And I really appreciate you telling this story. I do. I appreciate you coming here and telling that story. It can't be easy. I respect that. People, there are so many opportunities for people on this boat to hear things that you're not going to hear anywhere else. And my hat is off. Well, my hat's never off. Figuratively speaking, my hat is off to people that come here and bear it all. That come here and open up in ways that can't be easy, but help so many people. God, Andrew Eats in his beautiful letter. People, if you're comfortable, the last thing in the world I want you to do is write a letter, a goodbye letter to your drug of choice if it's something you're uncomfortable with. If you are, don't worry about it. You know, I would recommend you write the letter. I think it's essential. Now, whether or not you want to mail it to the captain of the boat, that's something that that's completely on you. Ben Genetic says, I'm working on 3 years of being sober, and sometimes going to the store is rough. Another great admission. You know what, people? It might be rough 10 years from now, my friend. But if you keep fighting the good fight, and you're going to find, people, that what he just did, the saying it, that kind of honesty does amazing, amazing things for you. It really does. It will help cement your sobriety. It's one of the reasons people go to meetings. It's one of the reasons that this group thing that we do is so important. It's why group meetings have cured people and have been successful. I promise you that is the reason. And I can use myself as an example. People, I love the film Pulp Fiction. I love it. But there were times, twice in my life, where I relapsed after watching the scene where he injects heroin. I'm I'm not laughing. Again, something. I have... Jack will occasionally pop in and say something funny, and right now he doesn't even know I'm on a live feed, but he just sent me a very funny text. Anyway, twice in my life, that scene literally was the start of my destruction. And now I still watch Pulp Fiction. I don't watch that scene. I don't. And there are people, I've told other people that story who went, oh, come on, man, you got to be stronger than that. You're definitely not one of us. If your response to me telling you that is, you're definitely not one of us. It's difficult. Okay, Hot Wheels says, I'm almost 5 years free of alcohol, now working on a few other addictions in my life that I really need to kick. You know what, man? You're in the right place. You are. One of the things that makes us unique versus other places is that if you're still working on something, it's not something you're going to get lectured on here. I'll never allow that. I'm never going to allow somebody in the comment section to lecture you. You're going to do things in your time, right? When the time comes that you're ready to say, this particular one's got to go right now, come and tell us about it. And we will be here to support you in any way that we can. And we're never going to judge anybody. I promise you, people, if anybody ever takes that judgmental tone on this boat, it's the fastest way to be off this boat. We don't judge people here. We simply don't. You know, judgment has no place in this process that we're doing. None. And it will never be allowed. There are a lot of things that I can be patient with. That's not one of them. It just isn't. Rampage, 5 years. This keeps getting better, he says. You know what? People, it does. It absolutely does. Sobriety continues to get better. Relationships continue to get better. Life continues to get better. Sunsets are more beautiful. Sunrises are more beautiful. I'm not kidding. This is why the other day I came on and I said, we're not, and I made a joke about it earlier too on one of the other videos. It's not about a sober existence. It's about a sober thriving, right? We're not existing, people. We're thriving. This boat celebrates people thriving. You understand? And that is just the gospel truth. Rampage says, I'm 18 years and still counting. For me, 1 drop of alcohol. You know what? It's the power of realizing that you cannot control something is one of the strongest things that any human being can do. I'm here to tell you. The person that says, well, I think I can control. No, the power is in saying I can't control. That takes guts to admit that. It really does. The Filthy Phoenix says, I judge myself every day. It's my way of reminding the promise of never again. The rearview mirror is indeed far smaller, Captain. Absolutely, my friend. I, on a daily basis, take very short inventories of exactly what I'm doing, how I'm living. When this day is over, when we wrap up this live feed, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to brush my teeth, right? Do that before bed. Brush the teeth. Then I'm going to pray, and I am going to evaluate exactly how my day went. Was I moving toward the direction I want to go, or was I moving away from it? Was I treating people the way that I have designed myself to treat people on page 3, or am I not doing that? And I do this every single day. That's why I will come back and I will apologize. I said on the other feed that I don't think I handled the gentleman on the live feed well the other day. If you didn't hear me say that, hear me again. Guy came on and said that he was unhappy, but that he was, and when I tried to make some suggestions about him becoming happy, he said, no, I don't want to be happy. People, that may sound like somebody that's just trying to mess with a live feed. But what I said earlier, about people coming on who have some issues, I think that probably that man is, he's coping with he's coping with something that so many people do. It's just what I was talking about earlier. There are people who treat mental illness with drugs. There are people who, he may not be doing drugs, period. But that is a man, if you have been unhappy for 10 years, that's clinical depression. That's not normal. It is normal for us to be unhappy. That's part of our makeup. We're going to go through depression. It's normal. But it's also normal to get over it. If you've been unhappy for 10 years, people, if you could truthfully say that, I haven't been happy in 10 years, go see a doctor. That's not something that the captain is going to be able to help you with. Kathy, people, You will see Kathy Dove in the comment section. People, Kathy's one of my favorite people. True story, one of my favorite people. Give Kathy a hello, please. She's one of us. She's one of the kindest people you'll ever want to come across in your life. Just kindness personified. I'm so happy you're here, Kath. I really am. I'm so happy you're here. I miss you when you're not around. Kathy is just... I don't know that Kathy said a negative word, at least in the time that I've known her, never. It's a true story. Never in the time that I've known her has said anything even remotely negative. She's just been one of those people that exudes the kind of energy that we all want on this boat. So happy you're here. I really am. People, this is... we are getting to the time of night. I've been live for 1 hour. My goal was to only do 1 hour. To be really honest with you, I do have to work tomorrow morning. I'm going to give everybody about 15 minutes, okay? So we're going to wrap this up in 15 minutes. I want you people to say goodnight. I want you people to tell one another that you love them and that you're here to support them. And I want to hammer this home in the next 15 minutes. If you hear nothing else that I said today, all of us have a social media presence that's amazing, right? That's the proof of the fact that we're here. We're all tied in to beat hell with social media. Couple of things that I think would be awesome today, right? Heating Up. Heating Up's got a channel over on YouTube. That's our boy Joe. Stop by the channel, hit subscribe, and leave a message. That message can say anything. Hey, we're here for you. Then if you're on Facebook, right, go over to Messenger and tell Joe if he needs your help, you're there. If you got time, people, then you better have time. Give him a couple of ways he can get in contact with you and say, before you drink the next time, Joe, please contact me, right? Reach out to somebody, reach out to 5 of us. Joe, if you're hearing this, reach out, right? We're here for you. We're going to prove it. So Heating Up, that would be his channel. Stop by there, people. Check it out. The man, if you're a chilihead and you're not subscribed there, I really got to wonder why. If you're not a chilihead, I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. But if you're a chilihead, this man did the Death Nut Challenge 7 days in a row. If you're not subscribed to that man's channel, you got to wonder why at this point. Go over and check him out. But reach out to him. You can do it on, he's everywhere, right? You can do it on Instagram, you can do it on Facebook, you can do it on Messenger, you can do it wherever, but reach out to him because this is a guy that came here and asked for help. Did you hear him? People, if somebody asks for help and then disappears, it's because they weren't comfortable asking for help, but he took that step. All right, we have to be the people that says, if you come this close, we're going to come the rest of the way, even if I got to shove the door open to do it, right? We got to be here for him, people. He came and asked for help. We can't let him down, right? What kind of boat are we if we let him down? Can't let that happen. Please, please. I know Jackson's going to do it because I know Jackson knows how to get a hold of him. And Flamin' Jackson is one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet. You got a great heart, Jackson. I love you, brother. I really do. You're a good guy. Just a good human being. Virginia Doolin says, people call, I'll help. Kathy Dove, hello everyone. Kathy, we love you. I love and care about you all. If you need someone, I'm always here. My messenger name is Kathy Rogers Dove. Kathy, man, I love you, Kath. Such a nice person, people. I'm telling you. And someday, because we got 15 minutes left, I'm wrapping this up. I promised I was only going to do an hour. I'm going to do an hour and 15 minutes. But someday I'm going to tell you the story of how I met Kathy. It was just one of those really cool things. Kathy was a fan of, I'll tell you now, to heck with it, because I love Kath. She was a fan of my brother's and had mentioned that. And when I saw it, I said, she was a huge fan. She was at her house, kind of got stuck there for a long period of time, even before COVID. And she was just binging on Chase the Heat. And when I found that out, I said, Johnny, you got to do a shout out to this woman, Kathy. She's the nicest person you'll ever meet, and he did. And she just became just really a part of the show over there. You know what I mean? Everybody loves Kathy, and just such a kind person. The kindest people on this planet are really hard to find. They really are. I mean, kindness is no longer the default setting. In fact, negativity is the default setting. People, unfortunately, have become ugly, right? They've become ugly. Beautiful is dying. And people, I'm not talking about what people look like, honestly. I mean, that's attractive. That's not beautiful. In my book, that's attractive. You're born that way or you're not born that way. Funny thing happens, though. If we want to go with the sexist whatever on a scale of 1 to 10 kind of thing, if you're a 5, and you are the most kind, loving human being on the planet, you're going to appear an 8. I promise you. And if you're a 10 and you're just downright mean and you just spew negativity and hate, you're going to come across as a 3 if I'm looking at you. I promise. There's nothing uglier in the world than someone that's not nice. It's awful. So choose beautiful. Be beautiful. It's a choice. It really is. If you don't believe that, people, then you're lost. Get found right here. It is a fact. Beautiful is a decision. And it's not a decision you make once a day. I wish it were, but it's not. It's a decision that you've got to make sometimes 200 times a day. But you know what? It's like anything else. Habits get ingrained. Boy, Chi-Chi, I don't know that, Chi-Chi is just, I've seen Chi-Chi yell at people. It's one of the nicest things you've ever seen. Seriously. Chi-Chi can chastise you and do it in a beautiful way. She's just one of those people that everything she does exudes class and love. She's just such a great person. And I should probably say that 3 more times in case the tape machine sticks. But no, she's a beautiful person. And people, that's what we want for our default setting. No, Saigon, I did not read your goodbye, and I'm not doing it on a live feed. It's going into the permanent record, my brother. There's no chance I'm wasting that on a live feed because not enough people are going to see it. I'm going to do a video, and the only thing on that video is going to be your letter. People, that is how I am going to do all of them. If you write in a goodbye letter to drugs, I am going to do one video, just like I do either a morning video or an afternoon video, and that is going to be the only thing on it. I'm not going to talk about news of the day. I'm not going to talk about things from the boat. That's disrespectful. If you took the time to write a goodbye letter to your drug of choice, that will be the only thing I talk about. Just like the one that I did today for Andrew. Now, that's life-changing. The fact that people are taking the time to write these, no. You will become a permanent part of a mosaic that we are painting. And we're using those letters, right, as the paint. Do you understand what I'm saying, people? There is going to be one single list, and nothing in that list is going to be anything other than, right, one of the playlists is just going to be the letters, the goodbye letters to drugs. There's nothing else out there, anywhere, people, like that. It's going to give each and every one of us a tool, a way to approach people. That mosaic is going to be our battering ram for people who need to quit. If you got a friend that is unable to quit drinking, or you got a friend that you know drugs is really affecting, you can send this. Send the entire playlist to them and say, hey, I just want you to hear some of these. They're amazing. People, we're going to knock some doors down with this. You think I'm kidding? We're going to look at Andrew's letter. You think you could hear that letter and not get overwhelmed? I can't. There's no way. That letter is overwhelming. People, if you're listening to the sound of my voice and you did not hear me read his letter on the last video, damn. Listen to it. When we're done here today, go back. The last video that I posted it at about, 5:30, somewhere in there. That is Andrew Eats, goodbye letter to alcohol. He calls alcohol Jeffrey. It is staggeringly beautiful. It is. And people, the best part of that story is he had commented and he said, hey, I love the idea about the goodbye letter to drugs. People, you know how it works. When when one of you leaves a comment, it'll say to me 40 seconds ago, 5 minutes ago, whatever. So it says 40 seconds ago. I'm reading it. And he said to me, it's a really beautiful idea. I'm going to do that. I'd like to stick around, but I got a letter to write. That was his comment. People, I kid you not. I got an email maybe 8 minutes later. It's unbelievable how fast he wrote that letter. He opened up and bled onto the page. There was no rewrites and revampings and any of that. Was just emotion rushing out of that man's body. It does not surprise me that when he got to the end of it, he said, this really was life-changing. I bet. He took the time to just let that flow out. People, if you read it, you're going to go back and listen to me read it. You're going to think, boy, he worked on that for a while. Yeah, he worked on that for about 8 minutes. That's pure, man. That is beautiful stuff. And we are going to get an entire collection of them. Imagine what that playlist is going to look like in 2025. Because this is going to be the backbone of a lot of what we do here. For people that I can't get on here for an interview, there are stories that have to be done in interviews, right? The Grizzly Cub has got to be an interview, and there are other people who are going to have to be interviewed. But every one of those goodbye letters that somebody takes the time to write, I am going to be reading those on the air, and they are going to go into a playlist. And I promise you, people, it's a weapon. It's a weapon. I didn't see it that way. I believed wholeheartedly that the goodbye letter to drugs is something that was essential for the person who's doing it. If you send it to me, people, right? If you do not want it on the air, you better tell me you don't want it on the air. When I get it in the inbox at Captain Tommy Scoville at Gmail, I am assuming that you want that on the air. If that is not the case, you better tell me, right? But when I started talking about this, Mark, as usual, took my idea and said, boy, you're going to read those on the air, aren't you? And I went, I wasn't planning on it. He's like, you got to read those on the air. When you hear Mark's is awesome. When you, and he said to me, after I read the first one on the air, he said, boy, that's powerful. I said, thank you. He goes, that is going to get more people to this channel than anything else. I said, huh? He said, yeah. What you do is you put all of those in. Just what I'm telling you now, that was not my idea. That was Mark's. Genius. But once again, the power of the boat, right? I am willing to admit, in fact, nothing makes me happier than admitting that there are ideas out there from people who are far better at this than I am. And Mark saying, you know, this is something that we're going to use to drive the channel forward. That's awesome. The Filthy Phoenix said, okay, crew, Captain, my eyeballs will not remain open any longer. We love you. I'm not crazy. It's me and Romeo, Kitty. Okay. Hey, give Romeo a little one back here for me, would you? And you have a fantastic evening down there in Florida. Appreciate you staying up. I know it's late there, man. I really know you're staying up late. God bless you. Mean the world to me, man. And so does Romeo, for the record. Romeo has been watching this, people. He doesn't miss any of my videos. He really doesn't. That's you think I'm kidding, but he does not. He says every single time that Saigon Cinnamon says, I should have taken more time and told my story, but it was right after I heard Andrew's. You know what? I don't think you should have, brother. You want to rework it, feel free to do it. I read it. Now, to me, I think that that's the way it ought to be. Open it up and let it flow. I think it's beautiful, man. I think it's beautiful. If you want me to wait until you redo another one, just tell me. You know my email. I'll do whatever you want, but I don't think you need to. I really don't. That's my personal opinion, but it's yours. So you make the decision. That's completely up to you. Space Jeezy. 20 more minutes, please, Captain. Space Jeezy, if you knew how much I would like to do 20 more minutes. Really, if you knew how much I would like to do 20 more minutes. The problem is I got to work a 12-hour shift tomorrow. And as the people who know me well know me, I don't sleep. I've got really, really serious sleep issues. And because of that, you know, I sometimes go 4 and 5 days where I'm only able to catch 3 or 4 hours at a whack. I kind of got to get some sleep before I pull a 12-hour shift tomorrow. I work 60 hours a week at this other job. For those of you who are just getting here and don't know, because a lot of people showed up after the C math incident, and I've been here without any, without any problem in terms of my time and my schedule because I have been home from work. Work, however, starts tomorrow, and it's ugly. It really is. It's an ugly schedule, and it's going to be tough. But you all supported me the last time I did it, and you're going to support me again because that's who you are. I promise you this. I'm going to have a couple of days off every week, and I am going to do a ludicrously long live feed. I have been talking with some people about it, and I intend to do a very long live feed where we can do, we're really going to stay on here, and it's going to give people an opportunity to really get to know one another. I'm also going to start posting some of the videos that I do as premieres. And what that does is it gives you an opportunity to do just this. I put some videos in the can today, right? I worked all day long on videos. There's a couple in there that are close to a half an hour long so that you people will have a little bit more time, but there will going to be some live feeds. I also am going to be asking Mr. Mark Wages, not putting him on the spot, but I'm going to ask him to probably do a live feed or two during the week when I'm not here, so that he would host it so that you people can come together and have an opportunity to talk in the comments section. I think that's important. I hope Mark is up for it. I'm not pressuring people. He does an awful lot. If he doesn't have time for that, you got to understand. But if he has time, I'm hoping that he's going to do a few live feeds for the boat as well, so that this doesn't get to a grinding halt when I go to work. So I'm sorry, Jeezy, I really am, brother. I would, or sister. I guess I assumed you're a brother. That would be bad. But either way, I'm sorry, my friend. I would love to stay on longer, but I simply can't. I got to do this. But you have my word, people, that it's very rare that I put anything in front of the boat. For real. And you know, if it got to the point where the 12-hour real job got in the way of the boat, I would probably find a new job, because this is my life and this is my focus. I'm here for you people, and I'll give you everything I got, but I can't give you more than I got. That's just, it is what it is. I feel guilty. People, I love you. I really do. This brings us to the end of the live feed. Thank you for staying on here with me. Thank you for getting me through the C+ math. You people have been so supportive, and thank you for making this dream a reality. Do me a favor, people. Watch the lifeboat. Watch it all night long. Get on there and watch it. People, we'd love to knock this out before the end of the month. If we do that and we hit the finish line within 60 days, do you have any idea what that algorithm is going to do to us? It's going to shove us down people's throats. That's what it's going to do to us. Oh, and Space Jeezy says, I understand. Get some rest. Have a great shift. See you soon. You know what? I appreciate that. Thank you. That makes me feel good. People, where are we? We're on the lifeboat. I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and you are the greatest crew that ever lived. One more time for the road. Andrew Eats, you're a beast. We're praying for Saigon Cinnamon's dog, right? And everybody's going to say a prayer for Joe. Reach out, people. His channel is called Heating Up. Get over there and hit subscribe. It's not going to cost you $1. Get over there and hit subscribe. Tell him that you're here for him and that you care. How hard is that? Heating Up. Go see Joe for me, huh? It's the right thing to do. I love you, people. I will see you on the next video. I got to go to work.